exponents. Okay, so all of our exponent rules that we talked about earlier this week, they all still apply, or last week, or whatever it was, they all still apply, okay? Now, you have this big block. You have this big block? You don't have a big block? Awesome. Okay. I have a big block on my paper. Okay? Now, I'm going to move my block, and there's going to be some stuff behind it. I don't need you to write that stuff. Okay? I need you to pay attention. All right, so this is the long version of what that problem says, right? It says a to the fifth, so on the top I have 5a, right? And then it says b to the seventh, so I have 7b. Okay, and then it says a to the seventh and b to the third. Okay, so knowing your rules about division, what is going to happen to them if they are one on top of the other? They cancel, correct? Okay, so I can cross these out. All right, well, I'm out of A's, so I can't cross any more A's out. But I can cross out some. Let's go this way. All right, well, I'm out of B's on the bottom. Okay, now, what about 12 and 36? What can I do with those two numbers? I can divide them by, I can start with 2, I can. If I divide by 2, that's going to get me down to 6 and 18, right? I could have divided by 12 to begin with, and what would that give me? 1 and 3, okay? So, what am I left with on the top? 1 and 4b. How do I write that? 1b to the 4th, okay? And on the bottom, I'm left with 3 and a to the 2nd, okay? So here's my final answer. Now, is there a better way to do that, a shorter way to do that without writing them out all the time? Look at the problem and look at the answer. How could I have gotten b to the 4th? Subtract 7 minus 3, right? What's our rule with exponents when we divide? You subtract them, okay? I did the same thing. Now, here's the kicker. Here's where the difference comes in. If I subtract 5 minus 7, what does that give me? A -2. Y'all, rule. We do not do negative exponents. You can never turn anything into me with a negative exponent as the answer, okay? So instead of doing 5 minus 7, I'm simply going to do 7 minus 5, and I'm going to put the answer where the bigger number was. Okay, so what is 7 minus 5? 2, and 7 was my bigger number, so the 2 is going to go on the bottom. Is everybody with me? Okay, now in a minute we'll get to where the actual negative exponents are given to you and whatnot, and it'll all make a little bit more sense. Okay, let me know if your note's different than mine. I don't know exactly for sure if they're exactly the same. Right. All right, so same thing here. We're going to start with 20 divided by 40. What's 20 divided by 40 going to turn into? 1/2, right? 1/2. Okay, so I'm going to go through real quick, and I'm just going to kind of circle where my bigger exponent is. So 4 or 2, which one's bigger? 4. 5 and 5. Okay, 7 and 10. 10. Okay, so whenever I subtract my exponents here, I'm going to do 4 minus 2, which gives me 2, and the 2 goes on the top. Okay, what's going to happen to my 5? This whole thing cancels. Don't you write y, because y has an exponent of 1. They're completely gone. Okay? Nothing at all. So z, I'm going to do 10 minus 7, which is going to turn into 3 on the bottom. There's your answer. Now, real quick, the 1 up there does not have to be there. You can just write x squared over 2z cubed. That's the same thing. Okay, if you write the 1, high five, I don't care, I'll check it off. You're good. But just understand a state test won't have that understood 1 there. All right. Okay, so y'all go through real quick using the same exact rules. I want you to try 1, 2, and 3. 15 divided by 3 gave you 5. Okay, and then how many m's were left in where? 7 on the top. Thank you for not forgetting about that understood 1 right there. And how many n's? 2 on the 5. Okay, so this should have been your answer to number 1. Is everybody with me? Okay? As long as you can simplify fractions and subtract, you should be good to go. All right, number 2, 14 and 28. What does that reduce to? To where? So it's 1/2, right? Y'all scare me when you say 2, because I want you to think it's actually 2, like 2 on top. All right, how many X's in where? 6 on the top, and Y's? 3 on the top. Okay, and that's what happens. We get into a routine. Okay, that's the one thing about math. You get into a routine, and you're like, oh, there has to be one on the top, one on the bottom, and you just automatically start putting things places that don't belong. Okay, every single problem is different. Okay, what about 6 and 9? What can they reduce down to? How many? 2/3. Okay, y'all, your calculator, just FYI, while you have this, it will reduce fractions for you if you can't do that yourself. You type in 2 divided by 3, or sorry, 6 divided by 9, and you hit math, enter. Okay? And then it will give you a decimal. All right, so it'll give you a fraction, I believe. It should give you 2 divided by 3. Okay? All right, so 6 over 9 turns into 2 over 3. All right, A's, how many? 6 where? On top, and then B's are? Bottom. Okay? Easy enough? Alright, so those are our positive exponents. Everything so far has been positive. We could have made it negative, but we didn't. Okay, so everything so far has been positive, and we're going to go to our negative exponents. Okay, so one of the most common mistakes that people make about negative exponents is they think the negative exponent makes the number negative. That is not at all the case. Okay? All a negative exponent means is that your value is in the wrong place. Okay? I can turn any number into a fraction by putting what underneath it? 1, right? So I can turn this right here into a fraction by drawing a 1. Is everybody with me? Okay, so every fraction has a top and a bottom. If we were entering nothing, I call them top and bottom. We don't get fancy around here. Okay? So what that is saying, y'all, is if that 6 is up top with a negative exponent, I need to move him to the bottom, and he can become positive. Okay? You move it. If you are doing anything negative in your life, change it. Okay? That's what it means. Change, move, make a change. So we're going to move him from the top down to the bottom, and now he is positive. Can I have a bottom of a fraction with no top? No. So what do I need to put up top? A 1. 1's our lovely placeholder guy. Okay? And do y'all know what 6 squared is? So our answer there will be 1 over 36. Okay? It is not negative 36. It is 1 over 36. Okay? I'll do some rearranging here so I got some more room to write. Okay. All right, so here's the next one. Okay, so here's the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move them. The ones that are in the wrong place, I'm going to move them. So what needs to be moved? Okay, that A negative 2 moves to the top, and that B negative 3 moves to the bottom. Well, A4 is already on the top, and I moved A squared up. B5 is already on the bottom, and I moved B3 down. Everybody with me? Okay, if it had a negative exponent, I moved it. Now let's apply our exponent rules. On the top, that is multiplication, so what do we do with our exponents? Add them, so we become A to the 6. And on the bottom, again, that is multiplication, so what do we do with our exponents? Add them, and 5 plus 3 gives me 8. All right, so we're going to start with the 3 over 6. What happens to the 3 over 6? It goes to 1/2, okay? All right. X4, does he stay or move? He stays. All right, what about the Y5? He stays. Okay, now on the bottom, X negative 2, what happens? He comes up here, right? And what about Y negative 5? He goes up there too. Well, now all of our letters are on the top. Okay, so that means they're all multiplied. So which ones are we going to add? The like ones. So we're going to do 4 plus 2 is going to give me X6, and 5 plus 5 is going to give me Y10, all divided by 2. And there's your answer. the next one again. All right, what you think? What's your top? What's your final top answer? One, that's a great start. B to the fifth. And C? Okay. What about the bottom? I didn't write the C yet. Hang on. What about the bottom? 2, A to the 6 and C. You want to see there too? You do? Okay. Pick one on. They cancel. Right here, y'all, you can get rid of both of them. Okay? One on top, one on bottom. We don't write them at all. Okay? So your middle step here would have been to rearrange. So I would have brought the B squared to the top. I would have brought the A5 to the bottom, okay, which results in our final answer. Is everybody with me? Okay, so negative exponents move. That's the only thing you need to remember. Notice I said negative exponents. I didn't say anything about negative numbers. Okay, you only move negative exponents. All right, so we are actually going to skip that whole pretty much, we're going to pretty much skip the rest of the front for right now. Okay, we'll do some more negative exponents tomorrow. And we're going to flip over to the back side, okay, which is still negative exponents, but it's some different operations. Right here, that's all right. Okay, so now we're going to start combining all of your exponent rules together, okay? So to begin with, in this first problem, just using our regular exponent rules, what would I do? Multiply negative 2 times 3, it gives me negative 6, and what do we do to our exponents? Add them. What's negative 4 plus 6? All right, do I have a negative exponent? Nope, so I'm done. That was old stuff. Don't do that in your sleep. Okay? So let's move across. Same rules. Different numbers. 5 times 2. 10. All right, and what is negative 4 plus 3? Okay, so here is your first warning sign. I just stood up here and said a little while ago, you can never leave an exponent as negative. Okay, so where do I need to move that? To the bottom? Did I move the 10? No, so the 10 is going to stay on top, and that x to the first is going to move to the bottom. Now you don't have negative exponents. That's fine, yep. Oh, come on, man. Okay? All right, next one, 12 times 2. 24. All right, and then -7 plus 3. -4, right? So we leave it that way? No, we got to move what? Just the x to the -4, so it's going to be 24 over x to the 4. All right, next one. 4 times -5. -20 and -5 plus 7. X squared, so I move the 20 down to the bottom right, and is x squared over 20? No. Why not? You can have a negative number, you just can't have a negative exponent. Okay, so all you that said no were right, because they didn't verbally tell me why you were right, you were still right, and I know you knew why, but you leave it. The only thing that moves are negative exponents. Don't start moving everything negative. Okay? Just a little negative, not a big negative, a little bit. Okay? Man, let's just add another letter in there. No big deal. Right? Same process. Okay, 10 times -3. -30. X -3 to x9 gives me x to the 6. What happens to 4 and -4? They cancel. Do I write a y? No. If I write a y, that means y to the first. Oh, it's a 1. Who cares? You care. Okay, look, you write y to the 0, anything to the 0 power is 1. So we would eliminate that anyway. I know. So never. Okay, next one. 4 times 5. 20. How many x's? 6. How many y's? -3. All right, so what do we got to do? Move it. All right, so. Well, you know, got right, huh? Let's see. We're going to skip. All right, let's go here. So those are all the ones that I just, the senior practice are just like the ones above it. Okay, so let's go here. So you're to the right of the senior practice. Is everybody with me? Yeah. Okay. Oh, here's your homework. You're welcome. All right, where do I start here? The exponent is outside, okay? So we're going to start right here, and we're going to distribute this everywhere in. So what is -3 squared? Negative times a negative is a positive, so it is +9. Okay, and then 7 times 2, 14, and then -4 times 2, -8. Now it looks like the ones we just did. Okay, like I said, y'all got calculators today. Be very careful. If you were to take your calculator right now and you were to type -3 squared like that, the calculator is going to tell you -9. That is wrong. What? That is wrong? No, you're wrong. You put it in wrong. You've got to put it in parentheses in order for it to square the negative. Okay? So the calculator is only as smart as the person operating it. It will still compute, even if you tell it the wrong thing to compute. All right, 5 times 9. 45. How many x's? 11. How many y's? -4, so then our final answer is going to be 45x11 over y4. All right, see if you can try that next one. what you got. Should be. Your final answer is negative 8y over x2. I just wrote that one. I'll see what it says. All right. Now what we got so far? Okay. Next step should be to oh, you didn't see this one. No. Oh, so you didn't write the whole problem. All right, so what should we have? All right, awesome. And that's a common mistake. I mean, I know you just said it because you're looking there. But a common mistake a lot of times is people will move it correctly, but don't forget to change the sign. As soon as you move it, it's just like when you cross the equal sign. Okay? If you move it over, it changes its sign, right? Same thing with a negative exponent. If it moves, it changes. Are we good? So far. All right. We'll stop there for today.